And this afternoon, I have the pleasure, the company of, how do we put it, soul country sensation, a Welsh warbling wondrous, Miss Laura Evans. Laura, good afternoon. How are you?
Hello. That was a lovely introduction. Thank you.
I like to build that up for you so that it gets the intrigue out of the way first, and then people get hooked on it. So, but it's all true because listening to you, I reviewed your EP last week, and I reviewed your two singles, and I was blown away.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
I like when what I tend to do, I like to give the EP or the record one or two listens, go through it and get the groove and get what it's all about, and then I start to do my writing. So I gave you a really good in-depth track by track play out, and it's sometimes you just get that when you get someone who just that kind of grabs your attention.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for yourself. So let's talk about you. What you obviously started at a very young age, way back in Sylvia Young.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of led you down that path to go into performing arts and stuff? What was the reason? Just
Well, I've always sung since I was very, very small. So I kind of been singing since I was about 5. And I'm from Wales originally, and obviously it's very. I'm from a singing musical family,
wow.
and I live right in. Well, I'm from the heart of the valleys, and I knew pretty young I wanted to get out and get to London and do all that. So I won a scholarship at Sylvia Young Theatre School and left at 14, and then been pursuing my dream ever since.
Yeah, and how are you? I mean, obviously, you've done quite a lot, in your singing career, and you've sung for some very nice people, and you've been in country to country, and you've had a couple of albums out. Um, how does it feel surreal? Do you feel this is the path you were meant to take? Do you pinch yourself? Do you think this is the thing for me? You know,
Yeah, I mean, I've always worked on music and acting since I was very small, and for about 5 years, I did act a lot more than I did music. But music's always been my biggest passion, just to write songs and sing them and tour. And it's taken a long time, to get here and
yeah.
people think this stuff happens overnight, but it's a long time. You got to put a lot of work in. But I love music, so now I feel like I'm finally doing really what I love to do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And what was the inspiration behind the new the EP running back to you? What was the inspiration from it? Because you've got a lot of, in your on your in the track Aberdere, you've got a lot of kind of feeling about being home and you know
Yeah,
stuff close to you. What
yeah.
kind of when you sit down to write, what kind of gives you the inspiration to go? I'm going to write about this, I'm going to write about that. This feels
Yeah,
right.
I tend to always really write from experience actually, and I always travel to Nashville every year, and I do writing sessions. So I travel to LA and Nashville, and I write with friends, and I usually always have an idea before I get in the room of what I'm going to write about. And when I come back, I have about 15 to 20 songs that I've co-written, and then we go through them all and decide what is best. So yeah, I feel like we picked the best four for the EP, and there's a lot more. I'm making an album eventually, so there's a lot more stuff to
Yeah,
come. But it was about finding the best songs for me right now. And I made a kind of sweet country record about 5 years ago. So I didn't want to make another sweet, kind of safe country record again. So this was about pushing the boundaries and doing a bit more soul and bluesy, rocky stuff. So I like it. I just hope everyone else will.
yeah, yeah. How is it? Have you had much feedback on how it's been received? Because obviously, it lands on my desk, and I go, oh yeah, let's have a listen to this. I do a bit of research about you, and then I stick it on. I normally sit back with a glass of red, and get into the groove. And I'm thinking, yes, he's quite good. It's different from your other stuff. It has a more rockier edge to a couple of the tracks. There's a lot of feeling in the lyrics. So obviously, for a reviewer, a media company, we sit and go, yeah, that's quite good. It kind of gets you going, you know. It kind of gets you. It kind of you get the vibe of kind of what you're trying to portray, you know, as you kind of listen to it. So, you know, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed just sort of sitting back and chilling, you know, and listening to you. You get a really sweet, toneful voice. It's really nice. And you know, and it's just one of those kind of EPs you could just play over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really fenced myself into a genre. Other people decide, I guess, what genre you are in. But I just think of myself as a singer-songwriter, really. So I think as long as people can kind of listen to it, escape and enjoy it, that's my job done.
Yes. So how's it been in the lockdown? Have you been in Wales all the lockdown, or have you been elsewhere?
Well, I live in London, but I'm from Wales, so I spent about 2 months in lockdown in London, in my flat in London, and then I came home. So I'm home now in Wales, and I've been here for about 8 weeks.
Yes.
But I must say, I had all the EP lined up and recorded, and lots of videos and stuff made, and a lot of content ready to go and promote. So
yeah,
in a weird way, it's been kind of nice to just concentrate on this. Because I'm always off gigging and working and doing, you know, shows, and I do cruises and all that kind of stuff. So to just concentrate on my music has kind of been nice, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of think, you know, what I say, you know, I'm doing a lot of these interviews where, you know, you're interviewing guys in Australia, America, New Zealand, you know, Holland and all these places, and you ask them the same question, and you've probably had it as well. But obviously, to some people, the lockdown's been good because it lets you concentrate on writing more lyrics, you know, because you can't go anywhere. So you're thinking, what am I going to do? You maybe pick up your guitar and do a bit of strumming and think, oh, I've got a lyric here, I've got a tone, you know. So it must be, you know, what I say to the people that I chat to is that for us, you know, you've spent a couple of months in the studio, laying down the tracks, putting them right, taking them apart, putting them right, and we can just go, oh yeah, I've not heard Laura for a bit, I'm going to stick her on, you know, while I'm reviewing something else or while I'm just sitting chilling. So for you, it must be frustrating that you can't get out there and ply your trade, you know, and let people, you know, when you listen to it in CD form and stuff, it's good, but when you're out there, you know, 2, 5, 10 feet from the performer, you know, there is no better feeling, you know.
And I haven't actually played these new songs live yet. So
yeah, this is the 31st, isn't it? This is the 31st we're going to be heading towards, is that right, with your live stream?
Yeah, I didn't want to do a live stream every week. I know lots of artists are doing live streams, but I want, you know, this is a really important record for me, so I don't want people to just watch me in my lounge singing it. I want it to be special. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Build the momentum up. Yeah, I like that. Just, you know, it's nice, you know, when you get people who do it every week and you go, yeah, if they've got an extensive back catalogue, you go, yeah, it's great. You can hear 10, 12, 13 songs every week, and it's great. And you can, well, I'll tune in next week. You know, I'm asked to do a lot of these streams where you've got to sit there with the earphones on and, you know, and like stare at the screen, giving it, oh, right, okay, I need to catch this, and need to listen to everything, you know, and sometimes it's hard. But, you know, I guess, you know, this is obviously a special EP for you, so it's nice to be able to, you know, to build the momentum and leave it till the end of the month where you're fully prepared. You know, you've got learned the songs, you've got them down, you've got all the tones right, and then you can unleash it on the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really how I pictured it would be, but it's out on that day, and it will be a nice stripped back acoustic version, because all the songs, even though they're quite produced on the EP, they work really well acoustically, and so you'll get a vibe. It'll be a good vibe, I think.
Yeah, listen, you know, I think that whoever's heard it, you know, as a PR company and things like that, we're quite lucky that we get to hear lots of stuff before, you know, 2 or 3 months before people hear it, you know, and then you get some of the PR companies putting on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and, oh, this new album's coming out, and you're like, I've already heard that. I've already reviewed it. I've already done it, you know, and you know, and it's nice that when you do a review that you get the positive feedback from the artist. I know that you've liked a couple of the posts, but I guess it's just how you feel about that person's music. You know, everybody likes a bit of softness, everybody likes a bit of tone, well, it's a bit of rock, you know, and you just, but
Yeah.
it's nice to have something just to chill out on, you know.
Yeah.
And as I say, I was very, very lucky that it landed on my desk about, it was probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, amazing.
I'd done your 2 singles,
Yeah.
and then they asked me to do the EP, and I was very privileged to do it because it's a really nice little piece of music, and I commend you for it because I think it will do extremely well.
Oh, thank you, Darren. Well, this inspires me because there's so many more songs. So I'm looking forward to making an album, and I'm just itching. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface with this EP.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot more, where that came from.
And what's the plan? Obviously, who knows when lockdown's going to finish? And I've been furloughed for 18 weeks. I've been at home for 18 weeks. Like
Yeah.
just wanting to, try and get back to a bit of normality and trying to get back to like a bit of what's real life, and and
Yeah.
for us guys, reviewers who don't get to see live music,
Yeah.
I'm climbing the walls because I don't think we will see any live music till January maybe next year.
Yeah, I think that's the sad thing for us artists and songwriters is that everyone can kind of get back to some kind of normal, but we can't play live yet. But I think we'll just have to hang tight. And next year early next year I'll be releasing an album, and then I'll have to tour it. So
Yeah.
I think that's the only plan I can make right now, really, is to tour in 2021, which will be good because then by then a lot of people will have listened to the EP and be ready for the album. So
Of course. Do you have the album? Do you have the songs for the album yet? That's going to make the final cut.
yeah,
Stuff.
I mean, it's like, when do you stop writing songs? Because sometimes you can just keep writing, you keep trying to beat your last song, I think I probably should write more just so I can pick the best. I probably have another 3 songs to write before the end of the year. So if we stay in lockdown, I've got a lot of time to do it.
Yeah, a lot of time to do it. Yeah, that's the good thing. You get a little bit of lockdown, and you can write some stuff. And as I say, you get lots of people say, "Yeah, I've written an album."
Yeah.
But this album's not out yet. Yeah, I know, but I've had lots of time. I've written another one, and you're thinking, wow. So it's almost like, I think that when music starts to be played again, I think you'll just have every single day they'll have someone touring,
Yeah.
and they'll be promoting the album from last year, the album from next year. And you'll be, wow, I'm in for a 4-hour concert because I've got 2 albums worth, And I think that's going to be that. I think the setup. I think that there's going to be just lots of people itching to get out. There's lots of people itching to play their tunes and then go, as soon as you step off stage, you're going, yes, I'm releasing another album next week. What happened there? Well, you've just given us 5 songs, yeah, but I've got another 12. But I think that's a good thing because it keeps your mind active. It keeps you motivated.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out there.
Yeah, exactly. And you can being at home when you're alone, I guess, is the best time to be creative. Because when I'm busy and I've got lots of things going on, it's harder to find the time to kind of knuckle down and do it. Or So yeah, and who knows? I might even have a Christmas song.
Ooh. This is even before the album. Wow, this is like people are beginning to melt down. They'll have 5 tunes and a Christmas song, and then an album, and then a tour. Wow, people going.
Yeah, you shouldn't really lock us musicians up, really, should you, or songwriters, because
Because the inspiration just comes at you. What makes you write what you write? Is it just a feeling? Do you have a thread?
Yeah, I have lots of personal experiences that I write from, and also sometimes I get inspiration from other people's stories. Sometimes it's easier to write about someone else's sadness as a story, because if you can't relate to it, you can kind of watch them. So some of my songs are about other people's stories, and then obviously some of mine and my broken hearts and all this. And usually when I'm really happy, it's hard to write. I'm better off writing when I'm angry or if I'm sad.
Just be melancholy, sit in the house all day, like, I just need to write a really sad song. I know it's going to sell well. Yeah, but I think it's one of these things. It's just that it's really, you look at people like yourself, you think, wow, that you can write a song. For us to listen to it, you go, wow, it must have taken a lot to write that. for us, it's just like we go through the motions of listen to the song, let's listen to the music, and think, well, that's a really good song. But for you, it's maybe taken a couple of weeks, couple of months to write it, to get into the right frame of mind to write it, or you're sitting at home watching the news thinking, yeah, I'm really happy that guy on the TV is really sad. I'm going to write something about that because that's going to sell records, But it's just one of these things. It comes across how it comes across.
Yeah, and inspiration. I get inspired by lots of things, and sometimes I write a bad song, and sometimes I write a good song. It's not always, And I actually write better with other people. I'm always better writing with good musicians. I always think two heads are better than one. So I'm looking forward to writing again with other people soon. Maybe I should organise that now.
Yeah, get it in situ, because you never know when lockdown's going to finish, or it's just a crazy time just now. It's just a bit of
it's a very
madness.
Weird time, isn't it? Yeah.
It's. I think for the first couple of weeks, you go, yeah, I've got a couple of weeks off, and then it goes into 4 weeks, and then it goes into 2 months, and it always just reminds me of a holiday in Spain when it's peeing down with rain and you can't go anywhere. You think this is what it's like being in lockdown, because you can't go anywhere and do anything, and you end up Skyping your buddies and on your phone and stuff like that, because I think I think this is the new normal. I think that at the moment the gigs that are doing the drive-in gigs, I think they'll be a huge. I think there'll be a huge draw for a few months, maybe 6 months. A car and 4 people for, I think it's about £100, and you get a couple of acts on, you get some music, and get some drinks. And I think that's going to be the way forward at the moment. And there's lots of people lined up to do it. And I think it's a nice way to get back into the music industry. Sit in the bonnet of your car, listening to someone cranking out a tune, and you think, great, I'm seeing a bit of live music. But there's nothing beats being in a small sweaty hall, with a musician up there, belting out their tunes, and you thinking, I just really miss this, being in a hall, being in close contact with people.
Yeah, it's the atmosphere, isn't it? That's
and get
what we're going to miss with the drive-in concerts. I think it's just too far apart, and maybe it works in America. I don't know.
I think most people are just trying something to get everyone back out there, and doing it, So what about your musicians and stuff? Do you keep in touch with them about writing stuff, or do you just
I mean, I have a pool of musicians when I play live. I have a band, but not everyone is available all of the time, so I kind of just see who's around. And I co-write, sometimes do Skype sessions or Zoom sessions, and we're kind of all keeping in touch. It's kind of nice because people are still listening to music, so it's inspiring that if you're going to put something new out, then people are going to see it and listen to it. So I think that's quite positive.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. As long as you're continuing to make music and people want to listen to it, and I guess, like for you guys, the country kind of soul, kind of blues, kind of inspired people. I think that there's a certain genre of people who like that style, and can't wait for someone like yourself to bring out a new song, because they've maybe waited a year and a half, 2 years since your last release, or since I last saw you in concert. And I guess that when you get a new piece of music out, it's exciting because people get a buzz about it.
Yeah, the fans, I think the country and Americana fans are very loyal, aren't they, in this country? So
yes,
and it's important, I think, to make sure you do it right, don't, because people, I guess if you're performing all the time online, they get to see you all the time. So I guess it's a bit exciting when they haven't heard you from you for a while.
And I guess you're right. The Americana thing, we at Jace Media, we launched the Americana channel about 3-4 months ago. And we could put all you guys on the mainstream, and people might go, it's not my thing. But when you get a certain thread of person who likes it, when you do the reviews, they just go absolutely bonkers. I think your review, I think, had about 3 or 4,000 hits.
Oh wow! Really?
From Jace Media. Oh. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. And basically I get like every other day I get people liking the post, you
Wow.
know, and you're looking, it's like 1,200, 1,800, 2,000.
Yeah.
And, you
Can
know,
you
and
tell them all to tune into my show on the 31st?
yeah, listen, listen, if you have a small press pack,
Yeah.
get your PR company to send it to me, and we will champion it
Yeah.
to get people to come and listen to you. I think you'll have a fair number of people anyway, because I
Yeah.
think
Sure.
people just love that kind of music. But
Yeah.
a little few thousand extra will obviously help you, Laura, and I'm sure you know my dulcet Scottish tones will bring that to the surface. You know, I'll just
Thanks,
tell them to
Darren.
I'll tell them to go and listen to you. Say, listen to this young lady. She's got an incredible voice. She needs all the help she can get. Although she's got a couple of thousand people, let's get another couple of thousand more, and I'm sure that they'll come flocking. So I did notice that you put it on Facebook that you're doing the live stream, but I will work on it with my boss this afternoon, and we'll put a wee press bit out for you.
Oh,
So
thank you. I appreciate
and as I
that.
say, I'll be tuning in myself because my boss will probably want me to review it
Oh,
for
amazing. Yeah.
the channel, yes. And then obviously, as I say, this will go out to by the end of the month. You probably 60 to 80,000 people will see this video.
Wow.
You know,
Good. That's great.
crazy mad Scotsman with a beard talking to a lovely young Welsh lady about music stuff. What can go wrong? There's nothing that can go wrong. People just love it. So I guess you know that's the good thing about this type of the interview where you do it and you put it on live because people tune into it when they're doing stuff around the house.
Yeah.
There's this young Welsh bird on YouTube. I'm going to have a listen. And as they're walking around the house, they think, yeah, that's quite good. Americana, what's that? And a lot of people don't know about Americana.
Mhm.
And then where can I find it? You know, and they tune into it. And as
Yeah.
I say, we've got lots of people, you know, who just love kind of what we do, how we do it, and you know, we just love promoting, you know, local British talent
Yeah. Oh,
and
that's
get you
great.
guys out there, you know. So we will do our best. I will plug away. I'll be there with my Jace Media T-shirt on, plugging it in. Come on, let's go and see Laura. Uh, what is it going to be like an hour long? Is it just the EP itself, or are you doing
It's going to be the EP and then a few extra songs, like some old songs, probably throw a few covers in. Probably be about half an hour, 40-minute set.
Cool.
Because people will probably request some old songs, so I'll have them ready and
Yes.
ask.
Where is it coming from?
I'm recording it in a studio in London, actually. So it'll be filmed multicam and recorded properly, but it's just an acoustic session. So
Listen, they're the
I couldn't
best.
really fit all my band in social distanced in
All
this
these people,
studio.
you're like, all crammed in together, like, oh my god. But you know, I think the acoustic thing is a really nice way because, in a good way and a bad way, there's nowhere for you to hide. You know,
Yeah,
because your vocals are on show,
yeah.
and if you're off key, off tune, people can hear it. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I hope you'll be practicing.
Well, I love singing acoustically. I'm one of these people that are like, turn me up. Can you turn me up? Every time. The sound people guys hate me because I'm like, I need more vocal in my monitor. So I like singing acoustically because I feel, it's like my favorite thing.
But I think the thing is, when you have a really good voice and a really powerful voice, it's always nice to get more in your monitor because I think it resonates more out to the crowd when they can
Yeah.
hear you and you're not afraid to hit the high notes or to hit the low notes and have a bit of cackle in it and people go, oh. But you know that I think that's the way it's meant to be, you
Yeah.
know. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be there with my glass of red, chilling out
Awesome.
with my pad, just writing some notes,
Oh,
and
I'll
then
give you a little shout out then, Darren. I'll make sure I'll give you a shout
yeah,
out.
that'd be fantastic because obviously it's a mutual thing, Laura. Shout out for you. I'll get a couple of thousand fans to come onto the page that night. And as I say, that these videos are great because people just they like to kind of they get an insight into Laura Evans,
Yeah.
what makes her tick, who she
Yeah.
is and what she's all about,
Yeah.
because you can go and go, I've got 5 songs and they're really great. I recorded them 3 months ago and that's it. People go,
Yeah.
didn't get much for that, but they get much of you as to where you came from, your
Yeah.
inspiration, and kind of what makes you tick,
Yeah.
what you've got for the future. And people go, that's really nice. It's just a really, it's a really cool interview because
Yeah.
to a certain extent you're laid bare. There's no hiding place. You've got you're nowhere to hide. You've got nothing. You can't, put stuff away. It's, sometimes we ask some good questions. Sometimes we ask some bad questions. Sometimes we ask questions that don't mean anything. But I guess it's just you have a bit of fun. You have a bit of a laugh. You get to know you as a person. It's nice to chat. When I spoke to your PR company, I said, let's get a wee interview going, because it's just nice when you review an album or a record or an album or a CD or a EP, is to let the person know that you've put your heart and soul into it. And it works both ways. You've given us 5 songs, that people will really, really take to.
Yeah.
And
you're so lucky, Darren. You've heard that track number 3 that I've never played yet. No one's heard that yet.
See that? I don't even know, Laura, who else has heard this this EP. I don't know if it's gone out to anyone yet, so I'm extremely lucky. But
I'm particularly excited about the one big ballad on the EP. Just because I've been wanting to record that for a long time and it means a lot to me. So I'm excited about that one. And especially because no one's heard it yet. And it's been produced and recorded so well. I recorded it with my producer down in Plymouth, and it was a special day when we recorded that, because it was like magic. So I'm excited for everyone to hear that. And you've heard it already.
I've heard it already. And then when you give me the shout out, you can say to people, there's only one person heard this. The Mad Scotsman, he's the only one that's heard it. But, if you give me a second. Obviously, this is, I don't know if you've had the review.
I think, I've read it, I think. And I've reposted it, I think, too.
So obviously, this is my take on our special song, because that's kind of what it is. Our special song. Smooth piano intro and an awesome double bass to add intrigue to the track, and it helps you float off and get lost in these incredible vocals. The bass chords that are coming towards us just giving us the intention that they're here to deliver pure grooves of delicious layered dark smoothness, which just halts you in your tracks. Haunting backing vocals with a real oozing vibe are just fantastic. The whole arrangement is just a feel-good piece of music that will whisk you away and have you thinking of a far-off place to lose yourself and come out the other side complete.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Do you like that? Do you like that? I kind of took myself back a bit, and I thought I need to listen to that again. This is what I came out with, and I thought, that just it kind of makes the track, So there's a special connection there. So when you say to people, listen, guys, so the one person heard this, and here it is, and you can tell people about the connection that pouring my thoughts into this super duper, absolutely awesome ballad that no one's ever heard.
Yeah, it's the only ballad on the EP. So if I had my way, I'd probably write ballads every day, but they don't really make it to the radio.
No, and I guess it's nice that you have one in, or maybe if you've got a 12-track EP or LP, 1 or 2, I think is just the right amount, because I think you're right. If you write 12 ballads, people are thinking, my God, this lassie's really depressed. She's writing ballads, type thing. So I guess if you do a few songs in a ballad, people get they get your vocal tone, and then they get the smoothness of you.
Yeah.
It's almost like you putting your heart on the line.
Exactly.
Telling people what you're all about. But listen, we've been chatting for a bit. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're incredibly busy, but it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you. It's been an absolute pleasure that I'm the only person who's heard this absolute stunning ballad, and you'll put that in when we do the when you do the introduction on the 31st, and I'll be tuning in. I'll give you a shout out as well. We will review it for you and stick it back online again.
Amazing. Well, thank you for having me, and thanks for all the support. And I'll be in touch with the album next time.
Yeah, obviously get it to me first, because obviously I'd be disappointed if someone else got it. So get it to me first, Laura. But this is Darren from Jace Media in conversation with Laura Evans. It's been an absolute pleasure, Laura. I wish you all the success in the world. I hope everything comes together in 2021. And if you come to Scotland, look me up. We'll go for a glass of red and we'll just talk about all things music.
I'm in.
Brilliant. Take care, Laura. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.